Hey guys, this is Deadroot66. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to run a night operation. So the first thing I'm going to be teaching you guys is pretty much a uniform. So right now what we're wearing is an all green uniform to blend into our environment. Now I have seen most people wear black for nighttime operations, which is a good thing, but since you always have to worry about the sun for it coming back up, because if you don't have a vehicle or any type of ride to get back to your base or whatever you're going to, you're always going to have to worry about the sun. So you can always blend into your environment, but if you want to wear all black, that is up to you. Now make sure you also have your medical kits and your food categories separate. I always like to have my medical supplies on my shirts or above my chest, and my food supplies in my pants. So that is just my recommendation. Always keep everything in one category. So yeah, I'll leave that up to you guys. Alright, so the next one is going to be gloves. Gloves are definitely recommended. What are optional are going to be the sunglasses, the face wear, the ski mask. Anything that's face wear, it's up to you. Me personally, I wouldn't wear them, but if you want to. For the ski mask, I definitely recommend you blend into your environment. If you wear the skull ski mask, that's up to you, but yeah. Any type of face wear or sunglasses are going to be optional. Alright guys, next up is going to be determine what type of operations you guys are conducting. If you guys are conducting a raid, I do recommend the plate carrier, but if you're doing strictly reconnaissance, I do recommend the tactical vest or the field vest. The main purpose for those ones in particular are for you to be lightweight, but also it's not going to stop a 5.56, 7.62 or 308 round. If you get shot with those, more than likely you are going to die and possibly even bleed out. So that's the bad news about having these types of vests, is that they have no armor with them. But that is pretty much it for reconnaissance only. You try to go on a raid for that, you're guaranteed 100% to die. Alright, but like I said, if you guys are going on a raid, I do recommend the plate carrier. The cons are for this one though, is that it is going to be heavy on you. It is going to put a little bit of weight, take a little bit of your run stamina, but in the end it's worth it because it does stop, I believe, 4 to 5 bullets. So it does take a little bit. But the cons are for this one as well is that you do have to find the pouches and you do have to find the holster for the sidearm. But if you're able to find those two, that is going to be the perfect plate carrier for you to actually raid in. Now any weapon is okay in my book, just make sure you have a suppressor on it. If you don't have a suppressor, make an improvised one using a water bottle and duct tape. Just letting you know now, it will not last, so it might take maybe 4 or 5 rounds to actually break the water bottle, and you cannot repair it. But yeah, regardless of it being a raid or not, still keep a suppressor just in case, because you never know, from a town next door, they're probably going to hear you, so the suppressor will definitely muffle it. So yeah. Now the next things are going to be scopes. Now such as if you've seen my last video or the videos before when I actually did a nighttime operation, I was able to use the iron sights above the ACOG, but this one is a little bit different. On the above of it, for that one, instead of it being iron sights, it has a red dot sight. Now you can aim down sight with that one, but unfortunately if you use the ACOG, it automatically turns off your night vision goggles, so probably recommend using small sights like a red dot or even iron sights. If you have the night vision scope, that's even better because it will actually help you in the nighttime. The only thing is you won't be able to move left or right when aiming down sight. Now for helmets, they are a must for regardless of reconnaissance or a raid. I do strongly recommend having the tactical helmet, because the tactical helmet already has a built-in rhino mount, meaning that if you have a pair of NVGs, you can just put them on without having the head strap. Also, you can also have a universal flashlight and mount it on that little rail on the side of your ears. The main purpose for that is for you to have both night vision and flashlight on both of them, which is pretty cool. Now, if you don't have one of those, you are going to have the regular ACH or the ballistic helmet. As you can see right now, I'm going to pick it up, or at least I thought I was, but yeah. Now you can have the head strap on that and have the ballistic helmet on with it. The only cons are for that is that you do have to take off your goggles versus having the tactical helmet, which you don't. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're wearing those two. Now, like I said before, as well as with the plate carrier and the field vest, each backpack is going to have its own purposes only. Now, I don't like the ghillie suit that much just because you can't really put anything like a backpack. You can't store anything inside the ghillie, so yeah, I don't recommend having that, but it is pretty cool to have, especially if you have a full gear, or if you have a team, have somebody carry like a field backpack and carry some of your stuff with them if they don't mind. But if you have a full ghillie suit, it's pretty cool. But if you're doing it by yourself for nighttime operations, I don't recommend that. Alright, next up, it's going to be the combat backpack. So having a combat backpack is very good for raiding because one, it is lightweight. It can hold up to 63 weights or whatever the hell it is. Somebody in the comments tell me what that actually represents, but other than that, it's lightweight. Definitely recommended for raids only. You can do it for reconnaissance, but it's better for raids in my opinion. That, and it doesn't block your side of view, especially if you go into first person and you're looking from your behind you. Field backpacks are definitely recommended for reconnaissance, especially if you have to sit for long periods of time, for hours or even sometimes a day. I've seen some hardcore players actually stand there for a day. I'm sorry, I can't really speak right now. But yeah, if you're standing or staying in one area for a certain amount of time, definitely have a field backpack. The cons are for having that is that it's also going to drain some of your stamina. Unlike the combat backpack and the ghillie, it doesn't really take any type of stamina away, and if it does, it takes very little. Now, the last one is definitely a recommended raid backpack, and that is the assault backpack. The reason why it's super lightweight, compactable, and not to mention that it has two of these little dump pouches on the sides, on the left and right. Also, if you go into first person and you look behind you or your sides, it doesn't block your side of view, so definitely a plus. Now, also when doing nighttime operations, especially if you're doing any type of raid or reconnaissance, I do not recommend using the glow stick. The glow stick, depending on what color it is, will actually give you away. For right now, we actually have the white one, and if you crack that open, especially at nighttime, a lot of people are going to see you from a far away distance, so I don't recommend that. If you are raiding, use a claymore to actually blow something up. I've seen some people actually build fences or doorways. You have that claymore, hit the clacker, and it's guaranteed that that's going to actually blow up the door. Also, if you have the ghillie suit, try to find ghillie wraps or to wrap around your rifle. It will conceal it, especially if you are low crawling or just, trying to remain still. Definitely going to help you. Now, if you have an Alpha or Bravo squad, I do recommend a flare. So let's just say, for example, you guys go on an attack raid and you guys don't want to use your radios or anything, you want to give off a signal. Well, what you can do is actually use the flare, throw it up in the air. Nighttime, that shit is going to light up and illuminate everywhere around you. So if Bravo team or Alpha team is next to you, or at least about a few feet away from you, and they see that shit pop up in the air, hey, guns out, time to raid. Other than that, that's some of the stuff you can use for the raid. If you are using the pouches for the carrier or your tactical vest, use maybe 4 at most for your magazines, and the rest of them either be boxes of ammo and other stuff. I forgot to mention that with the plate carrier as well as the field vest. So Yeah, don't try to always load up on just magazines. Okay, and then also have a knife with you. I don't recommend having live food or animal foods. Always have canned foods with you. Having canned foods actually can be more beneficial than having animal foods or steaks, because steaks tend to rot a lot quicker than they do with canned foods, and canned foods can last up for a very long time, especially if you don't open them. Also, keep an extra suppressor with you, just in case if you need to switch out the suppressor for a quick second, or if you don't have enough time, just swap it out for the other one. If you're right next to a gas area or that pox missile area, be sure to have an antidote, guys. Use common sense. If you're right next to an area where it's not going to get that pox stuff, then you don't need it. I do recommend the gun clean kit to clean your weapons. Now, this is a big, huge problem for a lot of people that usually forget. Take the suppressor off your rifle and clean it separately. Just because it's on your rifle doesn't mean that it's actually going to clean the suppressor. It will actually leave it alone, and by the time you barely even notice it, or you already noticed it, it might already be too late to even actually clean the suppressor. It might even be ruined. But anyway, guys, that is it for the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all in the next video.